बच्चों, कैसे हैं आप सभी? आई होप आप सभी बहुत अच्छे से होंगे। क्लास की शुरुआत करते हैं। चैप्टर है हमारा ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज। स्नीक पीक पर आते हैं। सबसे पहले ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज, अनस्किल्ड लेबर, स्किल्ड लेबर, हाईली स्किल्ड। फिर आता है डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन, जिसके अंदर है डेंसिटी ऑफ पॉपुलेशन, एरियाज ऑफ हाई डेंसिटी, एरियाज ऑफ मीडियम डेंसिटी एंड एरियाज ऑफ लो डेंसिटी। फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन, जिसमें है geographical factors, topography, climate, soil, water, minerals, economic factors, industrialization, urbanization, socio-cultural factors, cultural centers and religious centers. फिर आता है spatial distribution of population, population change, जिसके अंडर आता है बच्चों birth rate, death rate, migration, emigrants and immigrants. फिर आता है population composition, जिसमें है सेक्स कॉम्पोजिशन एंड एज स्ट्रक्चर, जिसमें आता है पॉपुलेशन पिरामिड्स, लिटरेसी लेवल्स, ऑक्यूपेशनल स्ट्रक्चर एंड देन नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज एंड ह्यूमंस, इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट. Prelude, highlights of the chapter. What are human resources? Distribution of population, the factors affecting the distribution of population, density of population, the factors responsible for population change, the patterns of population change, the structure of population and population pyramids. Natural resources and humans. Natural resources have always been the material-based societies. While these resources are useful to us, without human making us use of them, they would be of little value. Human resources comprises the people who have a certain skill to provide services. A worker in the factory, a doctor, a teacher, an engineer, a milkman, a plumber are human resources. They produce or facilitate in producing resources. Let us read an example to understand it. Sunita is a semi-skilled worker in a cement factory. She is very efficient. Her husband is a household worker. They have 2 kids and live in workers' colony while living conditions are not good. Recognizing Sunita's capabilities, the company plans to train her to increase her potential and improve her living conditions. Her organization has certain schemes to impart education to those workers who are efficient but lack proper skills. Sunita, like many others employed by the factory, is a human resource whose skills are being utilized to manufacture cement. Human resources. Human resources can be referred to as the labor input is the production process. Labor employed in the process of production can be classified into following 3 groups on the basis of skill. Unskilled labor, no specific skill. Skilled labor has the basic skill necessary for the job. Highly skilled has expertise in the skill required for the job. The productivity of a nation's human resources depend on the factors such as health, literacy, possession of technical skills, their industries, nature and motivational level. Technologies development and infrastructural development. Like other resources, human resources are also not equally distributed over the world. They also differ in their educational level, age and sex. Their number and composition is dynamic and keep changing. It is therefore necessary to check at regular intervals the size and other characteristics of populations. Census is the process of taking a count of total number of people in a country. In India, the census is taken every 10 years. इंडिया में सेंसस जो होता है हर 10 साल बाद में गणना की जाती है, जनसंख्या गणना जिसे कहा जाता है. डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन. पॉपुलेशन कैन बी क्लासिफाइड एज अ नंबर ऑफ पीपल लिविंग इन अ well-defined area. The distribution of population in the world is highly uneven. Some areas are heavily populated while some have hardly any people. बच्चों डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन जो है इंडिया में वो बहुत अनइवनली हुआ है. कुछ पार्ट जो है इंडिया में वो ज़्यादा भीड़ भाड़ यानी कि पॉपुलेटेड है और कुछ जो है वो हार्डली पॉपुलेटेड है यानी ज़्यादातर उसमें कम ही लोग रहते हैं. The way in which the people are separated over the surface of the earth is known as population distribution. Thickly populated regions of the world are those that usually enjoy an equable climate where there is adequate rainfall to allow the practice of agriculture and where the land is flat and soil is fertile. Population is low in places where the climate is inhospitable, like the high altitude regions, extremely cold zones, sandy deserts, and in the dense evergreen forest of the equatorial regions. Density of population. It refers to the number of people living in the unit area of the Earth's surface. It is normally expressed as per square kilometer. Average density of population in the world is 25 persons per square kilometer. South Central Asia has the highest density of population. Areas of high density. The most populated regions around the world are China and the Far East. China, along with Japan, Korea, Philippines, etc., have about 1/4 of the total population of the world. South and Southeast Asia, this includes India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal and Pakistan. Europe, North, Western and Central, it includes Britain, France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Poland, Germany, Northern Italy and European Russia. Eastern coast of North America. This area has favorable climate, fertile soil, mineral deposits and a good network of railways, roads and canals. Areas of medium density. The delta regions of the Nile Valley, the Mediterranean coastal part of Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, in North Africa, plains of Tigris, Euphrates, etc. are some of the medium density areas. Areas of low density. The northern part of Canada, Eurasia and Greenland are too cold and Antarctica is uninhabited. The equatorial regions of Amazon and Congo basins are generally unfavorable because of high temperature and heavy rainfall. In the tropical and temperate deserts, the absence of water prevents growth of vegetation that could provide food for men and animals. Deserts like the Sahara and Kalahari of Africa, the Arabian, Thar, Atacama and Great Australian deserts occupy large parts of the continent's. Temperate deserts like the Gobi are also very thinly populated. Research junction. Find out which factors are responsible for making India the largest populous country in the world, suppressing China. बच्चे इसकी प्रैक्टिस आप खुद से कीजिएगा. अब आते हैं नॉलेज जंक्शन पर. Female infanticide has remained a cause of great concern in India. During a span of 15 years between 1986 and 2001, an estimated 5 million children were lost due to fetal sex determination done by unethical medical professionals. Grasp and gain. According to the UN data, the world population is over 7.5 million today. There are about 250 babies born every minute on an average, more than 130 million in a year. It is estimated that there will be 11 billion people of 2100. The highest population rise in being recorded in Africa and Asia. It is projected that by 2100 as many as 1/3 of the world's population will be African. Factors affecting the distribution of population. Geographical factors. Topography. Flat fertile plains with perennial rivers and rich soil have been the cradles of early civilization. Today these plains are regions of high density of population all over the world. Level land is most suitable for cultivation, setting up industries and other economic activities. Even laying roads and railway lines is easy in the plains. High mountains with rugged surface and thin soil cannot support a large population. The Gangetic plains are the most densely populated areas of the world, whereas the Andes, Alps and Himalayas are sparsely populated. Climate. A favorable climate with an equitable amount of rainfall allows for a wide range of economic activities. Such area favor the growth of population. People choose to inhabit areas that are too hot or too cold or heavy, very low rainfall, for example the deserts. Soil that are fertile and are suited to agriculture tend to have larger population than areas with poor sandy soil. Fertile plains such as Gangetic and Brahmaputra in India, Nile in Egypt are densely populated. Water. People prefer to live in the area where fresh water is easily available. River valleys are densely populated while the deserts have sparse population. Minerals. Areas with mineral deposit are more populated. The diamond mines of South Africa and discovery of oil in Middle East led to settling of people in these areas. Economic factors. Industrialization. Most industrial centers create opportunity for employment and attract huge workers. On the other hand, areas without such industry centers force locals to move out to areas with more employment opportunities. Urbanization. People are always drawn urban where facilities for living are better and more avenues are for employment. Most rural areas provide fewer opportunities and so do not attract people. Socio-cultural factors. Cultural centers. Many small towns grow up and attract to people because of cultural opportunities they provide. Educational centers such as Oxford, Cambridge and Santiniketan are some examples. Religious centers. Makkah, Jerusalem, Varanasi, Mathura and Rome are all centers that attract people of different religions. These places develop services that cater to tourists. spatial distribution of population. The total world population has crossed the 6 billion mark in 2001. Out of this population, 40% live in Asia, 13% in Africa, 12% in Europe, and the rest in other countries. India is the largest populated country in the world. Indian population is more than that of China, USA, Russia, Canada, Australia, and Brazil. Nearly half the population of India lives in 5 states: Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, and Andhra Pradesh. Research junction. There is tremendous growth in the life expectancy of people around the world in the last 100 years. Life expectancy has increased from 34.1 years in 1913 to 72 years in 2018. What do you think could be the reason behind such a huge growth in the life expectancy of people? बच्चों इसकी प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा. Knowledge junction. Almost 3/4 of the world's people live in 2 continents, Asia and Africa. Grassman gain. The largest number of international migrants reside in the USA, Saudi Arab, Germany and Russia. What could be the reason? बच्चों अब आ जाते हैं population change पर. It refers to change in the number of people during a specific period of time. It is measured by the number of births, deaths, and migration. The difference between the birth rate and the death rate is the main cause of population change. Birth rate and death rate. Birth are usually measured by birth rate, that is the number of births per 1000 people. That's are usually measured by death rate, that is number of deaths per 1000 people. The differentiate between the death rate and the birth rate is known as natural growth rate. Migration. Population change is also brought about by migration. Migration is the movement of people in and out of an area. People migrate in search of better job opportunities or better living conditions. People may move within a country or between countries. Emigrants. Emigrants are people who leave a country. Sudan is an example of a country that has experienced a loss in population due to out-migration or immigration. Immigrants. Immigrants are people who arrive in a country. Countries like the USA and Australia has gained in numbers by migration or immigration. Patterns of population change. Although the world's population is rising rapidly, not all the countries are experiencing this growth. In Kenya, both death rate and birth rate were high. Now with improving health care death rates have fallen, but birth rate still remains high, leading to high growth rates. In the other countries like the UK, population growth is slowing because of low birth and death rate. Population composition. Population composition refers to the structure of the population. The composition of population helps us to know how many are males or females, which are group they belong to, how educated they are, what type of occupation they are employed in, and what their income levels and health conditions are. A study of the composition of population includes a study of the sex composition, age structure, literacy levels, occupation structure, etc. अब आते हैं sex composition पर. This means the portion of males to the females in the total population. It is expressed with the help of sex ratio. The ratio is defined as the number of females per 1000 males in a population. For example, in 2001, the sex ratio of India was 9 to 7 females per 1000 males. Age structure. The total population is divided into various age groups. For example, 0 to 14 years, 15 to 16, 4 years and 65 years and above. The percentage of total population is subdivided into males and females in each of these groups. It also tells the number of dependents in a country. There are 2 groups of dependents: young dependents aged below 15 years and elderly dependents aged over 65 years. Literacy levels. Literacy means ability to read, write and understand a simple message in any language. बच्चों, literacy का मतलब क्या होता है? हम जब किसी को illiterate या literate बोलते हैं, उसका मतलब क्या होता है? तो literacy का मतलब होता है कि वो ability जिसमें हम लिख सकें, पढ़ सकें और चीज़ों को समझ सकें एक सिंपल से लैंग्वेज में. At present, more than 1/3 of the world's population is illiterate. In India, more males are literate than females. बच्चों, अगर प्रेजेंट की बात करें तो 1/3 जो वर्ल्ड का पॉपुलेशन है वो इलिटरेट है, यानी कि अनपढ़ है. अगर इंडिया की बात करें तो फीमेल के मुकाबले मेल ज़्यादा लिटरेट हैं, यानी पढ़े लिखे हैं. Occupational structure. Occupational structure gives us an idea of the number of people within the total population engaged in different economic activities to earn a livelihood. The economic activities of people are divided into following: primary activities, which include agriculture, animal rearing, forestry, fishing and mining. Secondary activities such as manufacturing and processing. Tertiary activities which include services, transport and communication, trade. The more developed a country is, the greater is the percentage of population in the secondary and tertiary activities. A greater percentage of people engaged in primary activities points to a developing economy. Human resources and economic development. Human beings are the most dominant factor in the economic development of any country. They produce, manufacture, distribute and consume natural resources. Depending on the number of people and their skills, human beings utilize the earth's resource to satisfy their needs, though they themselves are a resource. Resource development is therefore closely linked with human development. The way in which the resources in any region are used and developed depend on human numbers, their stage of development, their needs. Population pyramid. Our population pyramid illustrates the age and the sex structure of a country's population. The population is distributed a bar graph with males shown on the left and females on the right. The male and female populations are break down into 5 years age group represented as horizontal bars, with the youngest age groups at the bottom and the oldest at the top. The shape of the population pyramid can change over time based on fertility, mortality and international migration trends. A country having high birth rate and death rate will have a population pyramid with a broad base with narrow towards the top. Thus, population pyramid helps in learning about the nature of population of a country. It tells us not only about sex composition but also the age structure, that is, how much proportion of the population falls in working and dependent categories. Population pyramid of India. यहाँ पर दिया गया है इंडिया की population pyramid को दिया गया है. In India, birth rates are high. Hence, the population pyramid shows a broader base due to availability of method, facilities and care. Many infants survive to adulthood. Accordingly, the population pyramid is large number of young people, which means a strong and expanding labor phase. Population pyramid of Japan. Japan is a developed nation. The birth rate of this country is low. That is why the pyramid is narrow at the base. We already know that the life literacy expectancy in India is the highest. Due to good medical care, large numbers of people are able to reach old age. बच्चों, अब आ जाते हैं इसके टाइम टर्म्स टू लर्न पर. Natural resources, materials provided by earth, human resources, people providing skills and labor, census, official count of population, population density, people per unit area, topography, physical features of land, climate, weather conditions affecting habitation, migration, movement of people for opportunities, urbanization, growth of cities attracting residents, industrialization, development of industries in an area, literacy levels, ability to read and write, population pyramid, chart showing age, sex distribution, इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट, प्रोग्रेस इन वेल्थ एंड रिसोर्सेज यूसेज. अब आते हैं लेट्स रिकैपिटुलेट पर. नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज फ्रॉम द मटेरियल बेसिस ऑफ सोसाइटीज वैल्यूड थ्रू ह्यूमन utilization. Human resources include skilled and unskilled workers contributing to production and services. Human resources vary in skill, unskilled, skilled and highly skilled labor. Population distribution is uneven globally, influenced by environmental and economic conditions. High density population often reside in areas with favorable climates and fertile soil. Medium and low density regions correspond with harsh climates and scarce resources. Geographical features like topography and climate significantly affect population distribution. Economic activities such as industrialization and urbanization also drive population patterns. Socio-cultural factors including cultural and religious centers attract diverse populations. Population changes are measured through birth rates, death rates and migration. The composition of population includes age, sex, literacy and occupational structure. अब आ जाते हैं assessment junction पर. Tick the correct option. Which of the following best defines human resources? Option A, Option B, Option C, Option D. आगे की प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा. State whether the given sentences are true or false. Census is the process of taking account of total numbers of people in a country. ट्रू. आगे की प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा. फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स. बच्चों यहाँ पर आपको फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स में फिल करना है सही आंसर को, इसकी प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा। डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन द फॉलोइंग, चैप्टर की मदद से इनके बीच आपको डिफरेंशिएट करना है बच्चों। आंसर द फॉलोइंग क्वेश्चंस इन 20 to 30 वर्ड्स। बच्चों यहाँ पर आपको 20 to 30 वर्ड्स में जो क्वेश्चंस दिए गए हैं उनके आंसर्स को लिखना है, चैप्टर की मदद से खुद से कीजिएगा। आंसर द फॉलोइंग क्वेश्चंस इन 50 to 60 वर्ड्स। बच्चों इसकी प्रैक्टिस खुद से कीजिएगा। आंसर द फॉलोइंग क्वेश्चंस इन डिटेल्स। बच्चों इन क्वेश्चन के आंसर आपको डिटेल में देना है, चैप्टर की मदद से खुद से कीजिएगा। पॉइंट टू पॉन्डर, in what ways have population pressures contributed to the degradation of agricultural lands? Discuss। बच्चों इसकी प्रैक्टिस आप खुद से कीजिएगा। बच्चों आई होप आज की क्लास में हमने जो भी पढ़ा आपको अच्छे से समझ में आ गया होगा। अब आप इसकी प्रैक्टिस खुद से करते रहिएगा।